Hello everyone. So today we are going to start plantation farming, and in our previous class we have learned the different kinds of farming. So let's start. Plantation are very large farm where usually one crop is cultivated. Means in the plantation farming only one kinds of crop is being cultivated on a large farm. Plantation farming is also commercial in nature where the produce is sold for profit. Means plantation farming is mainly used for selling purpose and getting the profits. Plantations are common in tropical areas where the temperature and the annual rainfall are high. Means plantation farming need a suitable temperature and high rainfall. In addition to a huge investment of capital, means what? It need a huge investment of capital like money and everything. Thereafter, plantation farming require highly skilled labor to work on the plantation. Means it need a very skilled labor who have done it before. As it takes at least 3 to 4 years for the crop to mature, the plantation owner has to wait for a long time to earn profit on his investments. Means these crops mainly takes almost 3 to 4 years to being mature, and after that plantation owner can earn the profit. So plantation owner has to wait for a long time to earn profit on his but profits once they start coming in are usually high. Means once he started getting profit from his crops, it will be very high. And the crops where example of plantation crops are rubber, cotton, coffee, tea, cocoa, sugar cane and oil palms. Okay, now we are going to types of crops. Farmers around the world grow a variety of crops. They can be loosely grouped into the following types. Means farmer can grow large types of crops, and it can be divided into different groups. We are going to learn about the groups now. The first group is food crop. So crop that are produced for use as food are called food crops. Means those crop which has been produced as a food, for using as a food, like wheat, rice, maize, oats, barley. These are the important food crops. Even legumes and vegetables and fruits are also a kind of fruit, I mean food crops. Thereafter, cash crops. So crops that are grown mainly for commercial purposes are called cash crops. Means those crops which has been mainly used for getting some cash and earning the profit. That's why it is called cash crop. So these crops are sold for profits. Means what? These kind of crops only sold for profits, means like earning some money. And the examples are cotton, jute, oilseeds, and sugarcane are called cash crops. Thereafter, fooder crops. Crops that are grown as food for livestock are called fooder crops. Means the crops which is mainly used for livestock. Okay, just like alfalfa, barley, turnip, these are the certain grasses, and maize are the example of fooder crops. Thereafter, we will go for the plantation crop. Plantation crops are those that are grown on very large farm to be sold for profit. Means as we have just learned about plantation farming before, the plantation crop is also the same. It also grown on a very large farm, and it is also sold for profit and earning money. The examples are coffee, tea, rubber, cashew, cocoa. These are the few examples of major plantation crops. Then, as we can see, there are certain conditions for the crop to growing. Okay, so we are going to just learn the conditions for the growth of a certain crops. Like rice is what? It is a staple food grain for the large part of the world, and it is mainly grow in the hot and wet climate because it need fertile alluvial or clay soil which can retain water. So these are the conditions required for the rice to grow. Then wheat, an important cereal crops. Wheat needs a cool, dry climate. It grow best in well-drained loamy soil. Means wheat generally need a cool and dry climate, and it will be grow best on well-drained loamy soil. Thereafter, and one thing more, that you can see the major producers. So the major producers are China, India, USA, and France. Then maize. Maize is both a food and fodder crop. It grows best in fertile, well-drained soil and need a moderate climate. Means maize just need a fertile and well-drained soil, and it's need a moderate climate, neither too hot nor too cold. And the major producers are USA, China, Brazil, Mexico. Then we will go for the cotton. An important raw material of the textile industry, cotton needs plenty of sunshine and moderate rainfall. It grows best in clay black soil. Means cotton need the clay black soil, and it also need plenty of sunshine, means just the sun rays, and it also need a moderate rainfall. So the major producers are China, India, USA. Then we will go for the sugarcane. Sugarcane belonging to the grass family. Sugar can grow well in hot sunny area with no frost. It can grow in most kind of soil. Means sugarcane is just belongs from a grass family, as it is a type of grass. Okay. So sugar can mainly grow well in hot and sunny areas, means the places which is a little bit hot and have a sun rays all the time, and it can grow in most of the kinds of soil. Then we will go for the jute. Jute is a natural fiber which has several uses, means it has a lot of uses. It is also known as golden fiber, and it grow well in hot humid climates. Means what, jute need a hot and humid climates, and the major producers are India, Bangladesh, China. Then we will go for the tea. Tea is an evergreen tropical plant which grow well in moderately hot and humid climate. It usually grow on hillsides and slopes. So it is a evergreen tropical plant because the demand is high, and it is mainly grow in moderately hot and humid climates, and it is usually grown on hillsides and slopes. And the major producers are China, India, Kenya. Okay. Then coffee. Coffee needs relatively cooler climate and lot of rainfall, because it needs a height and slope as 600 to 1800 meter, and it generally need the cooler climate with a lot of rainfall. And the major producers are Brazil, Vietnam, Colombia. Thereafter, we will go for the rubber plants. Rubber plants need a lot of rainfall and hot climates, and it generally grow on well-drained porous soil. Okay. And the major producers are Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, and India. Okay. So these are the conditions for some crops to grow. Thereafter, as you can see, it is a important crops and main producing states. So you have to just learn these crops and state. Okay. Your question, I'm going to ask some question from this part also. Thereafter, we will going to learn agricultural development and the green revolution. So agricultural development refers to the method used and measures taken to increase agricultural production. It is an important step in ensuring the food security of a country, especially in developing country with rising population. Means agricultural development means the method which is used to increase the production of agricultural, means the production of crop. It is an important step in ensuring the food security of the country, means it is a step which has been taken to increase the food production, so that food security will be food security will be safe. And in developing countries with rising population, it is very good step to take as a food security. Then agricultural development aims. So agricultural development aims to address the issue of low yield of crops due to disease, pest, lack of irrigation, and poor quality seed. So why do we need agricultural development? So we need agricultural development because there has been a lot of issue regarding the crops, because sometimes the crops get some disease, or some pests can just destroy the crops due to the lack of irrigation, means due to the low water retentivity of the soil and poor quality seed. These are the reasons so that the crops won't grow and the production will be less. So agriculture development just aim to get maximum output from a piece of land in a sustainable manner and improve the quality of the produce. Means it will try to get the maximum output of crops, which is a very good step. Then the green revolution was an important step toward agriculture development. So there is an important step taken toward the agriculture development, that is green revolution. Green revolution refers to a series of reforms that were introduced in agriculture between 1930s and 1970s, which resulted in dramatic increase in food production. Means what? Green revolution is a series of reform which introduced agriculture, means the agriculture between 1930 to 1970, where we will get a increase in the food production, and this movement was started by Norman Borlaug, who has introduced a strain of wheat. Means he had just introduced a strain. Strain means the wheat which has been just collected on a test tube or something, which is the strain, which was both disease resistance and high yielding. Means that wheat was disease resistance, means it won't affected by any disease, and the yielding is high, means the crop production will be high. Then this movement involved using a package of practice, means to replace traditional method of agriculture. Means what? Green revolution is a movement which has been used to package of practice, means it will just like it will replace the traditional method of agriculture, as we will using the traditional method of agriculture, it will replace every. So when it this movement will started, it will just turn the type of agriculture growing practices. Okay, like in the earlier days, we used to grow crops by using what? Bulls and bullock carts and all these things. Okay, but now we use the modern methods, and these modern methods has been transformed by what? By this agricultural development. And green revolution revolutionized Indian agriculture, which in the 1960 barely managed to produce enough food to feed the nation. Means green revolution is just revolutionized the Indian agriculture in 1960. Means after that, after 1960s, we started to growing enough food for our nation. Okay, so today we are going to stop our class or close it, and in our next class we are going to learn about the key features, merit and demerit of green revolution, and many other things. Okay, thank you.